Welcome to Feeding the Family with Dr. Kristin, where we help you navigate the challenges of feeding your family and learn about the role food plays in our health and relationships. Feeding and food relationships can be stressful, confusing, and even destructive. I'm Kristin Saxena, a pediatrician and mother of 4 who's been researching and sharing what I've learned about feeding for over 10 years. In this podcast, I'll share my experience and expertise to help our kids and ourselves with everyday survival tips for real parents. This podcast is about progress, not perfection. So let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of Feeding the Family. Today is a special behind the scenes episode. So we're going to do things a little bit differently. I'm joined today by my producer, Matt Tompkins, and for a change, I guess I don't get to be the person asking all the questions. Apparently, Matt says I just haven't shared enough about myself. So this is the big expose. Matt's going to ask some questions, so maybe we can get to know each other a little bit better. Or actually, I really don't know. I don't know where this is going, so it's a wild ride. Get ready.
This episode's called TMI.
TMI. Oh, good. I can't wait.
We're going to take things beyond your Hulk boobs that you talked about.
Beyond there. Okay.
Yeah,
so we're going really beyond that. Okay.
So these are questions we had viewers and listeners submit, and then some that I just kind of threw in there for fun because I'm just curious.
Perfect.
So, first question is, what is it like to be amazing?
Ha! I wouldn't know. I don't think I can answer that question. I feel like I've been a nerd since I've been aware that I was a nerd. So I will let you know when I get there, but thanks.
That's something that somebody who's amazing would say, though.
Oh,
that's like,
true. I know. I knew that.
Stay humble. Yeah. Playing all along. Okay. All right. So next one, what made you want to become a doctor?
Ooh, honestly, I think I was always interested in health and nutrition and the human body. I just kind of have always found that fascinating. So I was kind of into science, but more so as it related to like human biology. And so I think that at the same time, I always wanted to be in sort of a career where I was like helping people. So it sort of seemed like the perfect marriage of all of those things. And actually, initially, when I went into medical school, I thought I wanted to do like OB-GYN because I was most fascinated by like how babies are made. Mm-hmm. But just the whole gestation and birth process. And you can learn all you can about science and medicine and all of those things, but it's still, there's like this element of miracle where like a person appears where a person was not before, right? That's incredible. So I was super interested in that and thought that's what I wanted to do until I started doing my OB-GYN rotations. And I still did love like all the pregnancy visits and the deliveries, but I kind of found myself attending these deliveries and then like following the baby after the delivery.
You're just like spying? You're just like
a little bit
in the corner of the delivery room, like. Woo.
Well, when you're the student, you're kind of, they give you jobs, but you're sort of like the extra person. Yeah. So I would find myself following, whatever was happening with the baby, and I thought, maybe that's actually where my true passion lies. So I ended up like getting into pediatrics, and it was a really great fit. Like I definitely love kids, love helping kids. I love the way that I think with children in particular, if you're sort of doing interventions or you get to help them kind of create healthy lifestyles, which for me was a lot better fit than, with adults, sometimes it's like repairing the damage that's been done. With kids, it's sort of like
too late for us,
right? So maybe it's just easier. Yeah, it's like I'll just stick with you. You're not too screwed up yet. No, but so it just ended up being a good fit.
Is that how you say it? OB-GYN? You don't say OBGYN?
I think either one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like TTYL.
To talk to you.
LMFAO. I don't know. I'm just
Now you're aging me.
Yeah.
What?
I can't laughing my effing ass off.
Oh, yes. Okay. Those are long ones.
Yeah. Well, they're also like a group, so a musical group. So remember the Party Rock Anthem song from like 12, 15 years ago? Okay. I'm just going to move on to the next question. All right.
As I said before, I'm a huge nerd. So I'm like, what? Too, I don't know.
You just made me feel like the cool guy for the first time in my life. So anyhow, as if that's cool. It's such an old song too. Anyhow, if you hadn't become a doctor, what would you have become? Like as a kid, what was your dream your dream life scenario? What was it?
Oh man.
Besides being a podcast host, obviously.
Obviously, that was my dream before they were even a thing.
Yeah.
No, I used to always joke that, I really was a folk singer, but I can't sing or play any instruments. So I've always felt like internally like I'm a folk singer without having ever written a song or being able to sing or play an instrument. So it just didn't work out for me in that regard. But
it does help to know how to play an instrument if you want to be in a folk group or
sing or something. Yeah. But something inside of me always identified, like, I feel like somewhere in there is
you're about that life.
I'm about that life. Yeah. Exactly. So, but that didn't pan out. So I guess I just had to study. And I think the other thing like I had thought about too was sort of along the same lines was like social work.
Okay.
I think I thought about, but just because I was really more on this sort of like science bent, I kind of went that direction.
What is a profession people would be surprised to hear that you would be into? Like if you had to apply for a new job tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
And what would people be surprised to hear as a profession you're into?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Well, I mean, I think that sort of like these, I mean, it's kind of how I've fallen into all of this though, because obviously I was in medicine and super interested in health, but I've also always sort of been like obsessed with food. So I guess like, I think it would be cool to be like back when like Food Network was really big. I always thought it would be so cool to be like one of those like, Jada or whoever at home,
Guy Fieri.
just whipping up my meals and like they're all coming out perfect. I mean, it's not my life at all, but I think like, I don't know, maybe that's probably not that surprising given the podcast now, but I guess that was something where I was always like,
we need to get a kitchen and we need to start doing like, incorporating that into the podcast.
And it would just be called like Chris Fails or something.
What's on a unrelated note? Why do you think people hate Guy Fieri so much?
I don't know. I don't hate him. Is it like the
either.
backwards sunglasses? Is he just the spike hair?
And, like,
I do feel like I don't mind. Like his show is fun and like as a character, I think he's cool. But you have to admit, like if you just ran into him,
he's a lot.
Yeah,
like
if he was just like at a party and you didn't know, you'd be like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah. Well, actually, if I was at a party with him, like he'd be the guy because he's the guy who could probably score anything you want and like. He's the wild card.
He is the wild card. You'd watch him.
Yes.
But you'd be like...
You wouldn't want to, like, go to Denny's the next day with him for lunch or something.
No.
And then it gets weird. And you're like, where did my life taken me?
So maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He made, like, $65 million last year. It's, like, insane.
Well, they must not hate him too much then.
Yeah.
Laughing all the way to the bank.
Okay, what is your nerdiest hobby?
Oh, my God. My nerdiest hobby?
Or like the nerdiest thing you're into?
Wow. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I have like a super well, like everything. Like I just read, I watch documentaries and I won't read like fiction books hardly at all. Like I just read like it's just nerdy stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Boring nerdy stuff.
Boring. Like, yeah, I feel like I don't like, I don't know. Like I don't read like People magazine and I'm not like, I just like don't get enjoyment from it. I'd rather read like, something that's
Science
true.
journal.
Like I should be learning something. So I guess kind of that. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Or like our family is really nerdy. I think, have I told you how my husband and I met?
No, you haven't. Please share.
So I feel like this is a good example of why we're so nerdy. So I met him in high school actually, but at the academic decathlon. Yeah. And not just like the regular competition at the state one, like the super nerds.
So it was like the big leagues.
We weeded out all the like not so nerdy people and it was just like top tier nerd. And so I mean that's I guess giving an example of like he looked really cute in his suit in the speech competition. So and I actually started talking to him.
Did you do speech too?
No, but that was one of the 10 events of the decathlon.
Okay. Right.
So that's where we met. And I guess I just feel like that sort of sets the tone for like our whole relationship. So we're just like nerds. So our family does a lot of like quiz bowl type things to the point that we have actually invested in like a real buzzer system.
Oh.
Like, so I guess this is pretty nerdy because this is a thing we like pull out regularly.
I mean, it's a commitment. It's a commitment to something you love.
Yeah, so we'll do a lot of like Jeopardy style, like buzz-in trivia type stuff.
That's fun though.
So we're pretty hardcore about
That's probably
it.
a lot healthier than just binge watching Kardashians or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, nerdy is good. I mean, I was in show choir.
Oh yeah.
And actually, talking about music gig, my first musical gig was with the River City Roundup Choir.
I remember River City Roundup.
I was 10 years old. My parents bought me a guitar, and 2 weeks later, they said, "You've got this gig playing with them," and I had no idea how to play.
Oh my gosh.
Or read music. So I'm not kidding. For 8 of the 10 first, there was like 12 performances. Like 8 of the first 12, I turned my amp all the way down and just pretended like I was playing.
That's what I used to do.
Nobody noticed. It was like, Queen of Hearts and just cheesy songs. And so, yeah. So it's, everybody's got their nerdy thing.
Totally.
I think we're all nerds.
I mean,
the quote unquote cool people, are they really that cool? Are they really that interesting?
Right? Don't you think, like, now that I've grown up, like, I'm like, I actually really prefer nerdy people.
There's like different stages. There's like, dorky and nerdy and geeky. I feel like there's like Mark Zuckerberg is like the kind of nerd that terrifies me because they're not really into they're into things, but like things that are like dangerous or like manipulative. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like kind of like evil genius.
They're the evil nerds. There's like evil nerdom. That's kind of a scary thing.
Yeah.
I think we need to worry about that more than like Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminators in the future.
Oh, for sure. But like music instruments, like that goes back. I tried to play like everything. I tried to play clarinet. That was what made me laugh because I used to go to the concerts and pretend because I was like, I don't know how to play this. Tried to play violin.
Violin's hard too.
I know. I should have ever just learned the piano.
Pick an easy one. I played trombone, piano. I played violin for like 4th grade, but I can't even play now. My fingers are too big and swollen. And can't move fast enough.
And I tried to play guitar even as an adult because again, I was like that folk singer was like trying to come out, but
well, bass guitar or banjo, they're both just 4 strings, so there's less strings to manage. Bass guitar, you're just playing one note at a time, so it's not like,
I think maybe. I'm starting to feel like
we could start a band.
Get a clue, lady. Move on. Not for you. Not for you.
We'll do
Stay in your lane.
The Feeding the Family band.
Family band.
The Feeding the Family band.
I like it. I love it.
Okay. All right. Next question. What is a TV show that you don't openly admit you're super obsessed with?
Well,
or have been obsessed with in the past?
The one I'm super obsessed with, like in the last few years, has been Ozark. Although I don't know that I'm secretive about that. Like obsessed.
Really?
Obsessed. Like
it's a good show though.
Oh,
it's a great show.
It's so good. It's so good. Like I don't actually really. I'm not like a TV watcher per se, although my family is. So I literally like watch TV with my family to hang out with them. So most of what we watch is not like necessarily what I would pick because I just don't care. But when like Ozark comes out, like you will not see me. I will just stay in my room and watch like all the episodes for the whole season, like no sleep, no eating. Like I'm just going to stay in here and like watch all these. And because Jason Bateman's kind of like, I have a little crushy on Jason Bateman, especially in that show because he's like just balls of steel. Like, I mean, just his, if you've seen it, like the drug lords are after him and like everyone's trying to kill him and he's just like cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, like back in the day, I used to watch like Sex and the City and stuff, but I don't know if I'm on board for like the new.
I'm not either. Once they got rid of Samantha,
I know,
or
right?
didn't get rid of her, but she's not in this
she
new
excused
season.
herself,
and
I guess.
Like, she was the best part of the show.
I kind of think so
and
too.
Miranda, I don't know. Miranda has been my least favorite character, and I don't know. I saw the poster, and I'm not trying to judge people based on their looks, but it just brought back all these like negative feelings of like I just don't like this character. I know. I just don't.
Well, I just always felt that like Carrie, like the worst part of the show was the part where she would be writing. Like,
well, now she has a podcast.
Oh God!
So it's the same narration you hear throughout it, but it's a podcast. And
oh man!
At least that's what the trailer looked like. I haven't watched it, and I kind of refuse to watch it. But yeah, Wendy, my spouse, was obsessed with Sex and the City all the time.
But did you hear all the Peloton things that are coming out of it?
I haven't.
That's like total spoiler alert. But so what? Too bad.
I don't know. I
It
heard
sounds
about
like a stupid
Mr.
show.
Big.
Anyways.
I heard,
so he dies, right?
Yep.
So he dies, like I think on his Peloton. or something.
Okay,
And so
got it.
Peloton, apparently, I haven't seen their like response, but had to put out a whole response of how like it was
really?
Mr. Big's lifestyle, in fact, that contributed to his death, not the Peloton. So I thought that was funny as I was reading this like article to my husband, and I'm like, they do know it's not a real person that died, right? Like we're having to like answer to a fake death of a fake character.
I saw the reason I knew about Mr. Big is because I forget this guy. He's like Dr. something. He's a doctor and he does all these like social videos that I get sucked into because he like critiques like Grey's Anatomy and other doctors and TV shows and movies and stuff. And he did this thing that was like, it's a good lesson learned there because Sarah Jessica Parker, her character, could have probably saved Mr. Big's life because like when it happens, she doesn't dial 911.
Yeah.
Then she just starts screaming at him and holding him and like doesn't do chest compressions, like which is the easiest CPR you can do because you don't have to do mouth to mouth if they're breathing. You can just put chest compress. That's the rule. So call 911, begin chest compressions, and keep doing them until help arrives.
I think that should be the new message that Carrie killed Big.
Carrie killed Big. Spoiler alert, but we don't care.
It wasn't the Peloton. It was in fact Carrie.
It was fact Carrie, yes. Okay, let's see here. Next question is, what is your least favorite holiday movie?
Oh, man. Gosh, these are so hard because, again, I'm like bad at remembering movies. But
we're putting you on the spot, too.
I know.
So.
Least favorite holiday movie.
Or like, what's a holiday movie that comes on and you're like eye roll? Just,
gosh. I don't really know.
Do you have a favorite?
I mean, as a kid, I used to watch the Christmas Story, but like I think that's one of those where I did love it, but hello, like overplayed. Lord, it's on like it's 24 hours a day for like a month.
On 2 channels.
Yeah. So I feel like that one was robbed from me. The other one I really liked was, this is like not the answer to your question. I like for Thanksgiving, I like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, yes,
that's classic. And then this is like a family friendly one, but for Christmas, there's this cute one called Noelle. And
is
have
that
you seen
it? What's her name?
The girl from
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect.
Yes.
What's her name?
I forget
The little
her name,
girl.
but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And it's so cute. Like she's like a elf.
Yeah.
It's just cute.
I like her. Elf is a good one.
Elf is a good one, too.
One.
I love
White
Elf.
Christmas was probably my favorite.
I don't know if I've seen it.
You haven't seen White Christmas?
I don't think so. Maybe I better.
I mean, it's an old one.
Yeah.
But it's where, Bing Crosby is in it with Danny Kaye and George Clooney's great aunt. I forget her first name, but she's Clooney. And then another woman, and I don't remember the actress's name. But yeah, it's like the OG Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah. Because like what's the other one? What's the
and then so they did Holiday Inn 9 years before that, in like either right during or right after World War II. Holiday Inn, though, you watch it today and you're like, oh my God, there's a whole blackface scene. I didn't notice as a child. Because they sing songs for each of the holidays throughout the year. So there's a song about Abraham Lincoln.
Oh my.
But that's where the song White Christmas originally came from.
Oh.
And then 9 years later, they did a version that takes place during World War II, or right at the end of it, with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. And then that's where like the version of White Christmas that we know today came from. So
I had no idea. No, I don't think I've seen that whole thing.
It's pretty good.
And Home Alone. I like Home Alone.
Classic.
Home Alone 1. The rest. Home Alone 2.
They did like a second or third remake that I'm not.
No,
even
they
gonna
needed
watch.
to stick with the original for sure.
Okay. Let's see here. Next question. What words or phrases drive you crazy when you hear people say them?
This?
I already know a couple.
And I say it sometimes too because I feel like at a loss. But
you said it in the Mom Squad episode,
I totally did.
I didn't want to call you out on it, but.
So I hate when people say their journey. I know, it's so ridiculous. It's like so used.
It's overused though. I will admit that. It's overused.
Everyone's like, I can't wait to start my journey. And I'm like, where are you going?
It's not about winning. It's the journey.
It's the journey. I don't know why. It rubs me the wrong way. So I avoid it. In fact, I like actively avoid it. So you'll probably see me like stop when I think I'm like on this path. You're going somewhere. I don't know why. It just really bothers me.
No, it's fine. If you had a boat, what would you name it?
Ooh. Ships and Giggles.
Did you just come up with that, or have you been thinking about that for a while?
No, I actually knew somebody that had a boat called
That's
that.
a good name.
Like, this is brilliant.
Ships and Giggles.
Ships and Giggles.
I love it. Okay. What is your favorite and least favorite food to eat?
Ooh.
This is probably a tough one for
Least favorite is easy because it's water chestnuts. I think they're gross.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, like those water chestnuts they're always in like Chinese food. They're like, do you know what they are? They're the things that taste and like have the texture of like packing peanuts.
Oh,
they're like, they're just.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't think I've ever actually eaten them because I usually like scrape them off.
I do too. I like scoot them all out. And I'm not like, I don't like scoot stuff out of my food. I'm not like that person. But friggin' water chestnuts, I will fish those all out. I'm just like, they ruin the food. So, yes, Journey and water chestnuts. I can answer that. But favorite food is like so hard for me because I like
Do you have like
a
a
lot
top
of food.
few you can think of?
I mean, I love sushi and I love like poke bowls and like tuna, like raw fish, I guess.
I get in trouble for eating tuna because of the smell.
Well, but like I feel like the raw tuna,
So you like
ahi tuna. Yeah, not like from the can. I mean, I actually like that too, but it is kind of smelly. But like it doesn't even seem like the same food as like ahi tuna type thing. So I would say that's probably my favorite, but I celebrate a lot of foods.
Well, I think you'd have to. I mean, I don't think you could. Probably would want to be hosting a podcast about food.
Talk about my 4 things I eat.
4 things. Again, we're going to talk about my disdain for water chestnuts.
That's true.
What mom activity do you secretly hate doing?
Oh, I mean laundry for sure. Laundry has long been my like arch
enemy. Is it the folding?
It's the whole process. You never win. It is never over. You never win. It's the most unsatisfying activity.
Well, is it because it's other people's clothes mostly?
No,
or is it
even when I was like in college, I would let my laundry like I would rather go buy underwear than do the laundry. You know what I mean? It's like I'll just buy some more underwear because I hate that. I just hate it. I just feel like it's never like even cooking. It's like you'll have to do it again, but it like starts and ends kind of, and there's not just like a pile of food.
There's an end goal.
Yeah, it's just an unwinnable battle. You never win.
My tip, if you can get away with this, is like I usually like wash the clothes, put them in the dryer, and then just leave them in the dryer, and then just use the wrinkle release.
Yes.
Anytime you need something clean in the mornings, put that on, hop in the shower, get out, and then you got nice warm clothes, and you never have to fold them. Because I hate the folding.
Folding, yeah. Well, the real thing that I just kind of gave up is ironing. So that's where I use the air fluff thing. Yeah, iron. Yeah. I mean, I don't buy stuff that needs to be ironed, and if something needs to be ironed, that's where the like air fluff thing.
Yeah.
Like I'll just throw this in the dryer.
Suits and ties and stuff like that, and like dress shirts like all the time. I don't know because like it's so much work. Dry cleaners and ironing.
I know, and it's expensive. Dry cleaning,
and they're not. It's like it's super comfortable. I don't ever feel comfortable in a suit and tie.
I feel like people aren't doing that as much anymore.
Yeah,
like
we can get away with it.
The
leisure
guy
wear.
at the funeral home and who else was
athleisure wear.
Athleisure. I know everything's stretchy now. It's good.
What is your what mom activity do you love doing the most?
Oh, like one maybe saying I love the most is hard, but one thing that I actually don't mind that much that probably is annoying to a lot of people is kind of this like chauffeuring. But I feel like now that my kids are older, it's actually kind of nice because it's sort of like this like closed in time where they're like all in there with you and you can hang out. And my kids go to school kind of far from our house. So it's sort of annoying. Like it seems like it would be annoying, like a life suck to keep doing this, like drive to school or whatever. But like, it's like 2 things. So if I'm on my way, it's sort of like alone time and I can like listen to books or podcasts or just like rock out to the music they won't want to listen to. And then like I get to hang out with them in the car. So I spend a ton of time in my car.
Yeah.
So, and it seems like something I should hate, but I actually don't mind it. It's kind of nice.
What is, let's see here. Hang on. I had a good one here I wanted to jump to. Okay. What is the most useless talent you have?
Oh, totally useless. I like remember almost all the lyrics to all the songs, which I think people think they do, but I legit I remember all these lyrics from like songs way back. My husband's like, how do you know all these words? And I just do. I remember
Again, that's a sign you should be in a band. That's like.
Right. But I'm just like, I can't really sing. I just can remember the lyrics, but I remember all of them. I hear like one note and I can just sing the song with the song. And it's amazing and completely useless. Like I can't remember friggin' anything else, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, why that?
If we put together a gag reel for your life,
Oh my God.
what event would top that list?
Oh my God. Where do I start? I once wet my pants at a frat house.
Oh.
So I use that as one of my most embarrassing moments.
I feel like
I wasn't even drunk. I just wet my pants.
Oh.
And I was actually like working on a project for class with a group, and it was up late, and I just like started laughing, and I peed. I was actually wearing a skirt, and so it ran down my leg and into my shoe, which I proceeded to, as I'm laughing, kind of start yelling like, I'm peeing in my shoe, I'm peeing in my shoe, to of course draw attention to the fact that I was wetting my pants and peeing in my shoe. So that was kind of embarrassing.
I feel like everybody has peed or pooped their pants. It's just something most people don't talk about. I mean, I've had the same thing. Like, it was a poop incident, but yeah, it's like, you know, sometimes you gamble and you lose.
That's right. Don't gamble on a fart, right?
I got pulled over. It happened to me on the way home from Thanksgiving, and I got pulled over. I was speeding, trying to make it to Walmart. So I could go to the bathroom, and the cop pulled me over and took forever to get to the car, and I couldn't hold it. And then he walked up and he's like, "Well, reason you're going so fast?" I'm like, "Yes, I just crap my pants."
Yep, don't worry, it's
and he
over.
just starts laughing like hysterically. He's like, "Go ahead." I'm like, "Whoops." And then I had to like figure out like, what do I do now? Like, I'm still like 30 minutes from home, so I had to go into the pretend like nothing's wrong, going to the Walmart, and like it was bad.
I feel like at least a Walmart bathroom.
It's
nobody noticed.
No, they probably didn't. I mean, I felt bad. Whoever had to go in there, and they're like, "What's this in the corner of the? Oh my! Does somebody leave there? Is that underwear? Oh no! Oh, I hate this job.
Just again.
Yeah. This is the second time today. So yeah, I think we've all been there.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like
at least I hope so. Otherwise, it's just
no, just you.
Yeah, it's just me. Yeah. If you could be any famous woman in history, who would you be?
Oh my gosh. Michelle Obama, I guess.
Ooh,
I don't know.
With
a side note that obviously, like, you know, she was kind of famous just for being a wife, but she did a lot with her.
With her garden,
she's a cool person, and obviously all the food stuff. And I just think like she's just a cool person. Like, she's always the person that I'm like, why can't she run for president? And it's like because she's like too smart to do that. Like, she's like, oh yeah, that would suck. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, and you're like, right on.
Did you not see how they ridiculed me when I planted a garden?
Right, exactly.
How dare you?
That or like Oprah. I mean, that sounds so cliche, but I mean, she's kind of amazing.
What about Gail?
Gail kind of really, like, I've never cashed in on being a friend so much.
Well, she's
like,
got,
right?
3 jobs.
I know, she's awesome.
Yeah,
so, I mean, and like your best friend's Oprah.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Doesn't get better than that.
I know. So, I don't know.
If you could be any famous man in history, who would you be?
Hugh Hefner? No.
He's dead, though. So I don't know if that
well, that's all right, right?
Yeah,
famous in history.
He lived a good life.
No, that's probably not true. I just always think, like, he certainly, like, did his own thing and enjoyed his life. So I guess that's where I was going with that. And he wore, like, a robe all day, every day.
Although I think that would get old after a while. I would feel...
That's true. But he cleaned up for events. Like, I would see him in
like
tuxes
a fancy robe he would put on. And,
but I mean, like, I guess to me it's, like, sort of, like, maybe that wouldn't be my ideal, but he certainly seemed to have created his ideal life.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And I have to commend anyone who does that. He's like, I'm wearing pajamas. The beautiful ladies can come to my place.
What is an embarrassing purchase that you've made?
Oh, my gosh. Like, a lot of embarrassing purchases.
Do you make any purchases off, like, ads you see on Facebook?
Okay, yes, I have one. Hopefully nobody is like offended because they own these, but like they're still in the bag. Do you remember those leggings that were on like they had like the like ruched like butt crack, and they were like kind of like waffly material. Maybe you don't, but it was like it was supposed to make you look like you had this like booty, and I feel like I impulse bought these leggings. And they're literally in my drawer still, but in the Amazon bag. Like, I've never even opened them. They arrived, and like immediately I was like, I am never going to wear these. Why did I buy this? So it was very ridiculous. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sure I've owned way more embarrassing things than that, but of recent, I guess.
I did that with a shirt. It was supposed to be like one of those, you ever see those forming shirts? Like, put this shirt on and you no longer have a belly.
Oh, yeah.
And so I ordered one off of Facebook, and it came and it had the weirdest aroma, like this like chemical smell.
Oh.
And then I looked at it and it had fake abs padding.
No. It said Spider-Man on it or something.
No, it wasn't that cool. It wasn't that cool. Yeah, no, it was pretty cheesy.
Oh,
but
my
it was
gosh.
just basically, it was just like an extremely tight shirt you wear. Like it looked like you had like rubber band arms, like because it was just your arms were it was so tight on you, and you're like, ugh. And then it had the fake abs. So
Oh my gosh, the fake. So maybe that's the takeaway is like if you are buying something to give you a body part that you don't have,
then
just think twice.
Yes.
You'll probably feel ridiculous wearing it.
If you could know the absolute and total truth to one question, what question would you ask?
Oh man, the absolute and total truth. I don't know. I mean, maybe like, I don't know what happens when you die. That's what I always think of. But I also feel like, do I want to know?
You want to know if it's like really bad?
Yeah. Like what, I guess if you totally knew that, because sometimes I think like space, I can't wrap my head around space.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's something like I just can't conceptualize that, but it's like so bad I can't even ask a question. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't even have a good question because it's so confusing.
Well, it gets very confusing. You have black holes.
Yeah.
That are nothing but everything.
Yeah, and it's like constantly expanding, but it never ends.
Yeah.
What? How can you keep expanding if there's no like end?
It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You can watch the show Cosmos with what's his name? I forget the. He's an astrophysicist guy, famous guy, but he's like. But it's really good to help. He simplifies things really well.
It wasn't like the old Carl Sagan.
Not the
stuff.
old one.
Yeah.
They did like a new one, and it was like
With
5 or 6 years ago.
I did see this,
and it was really good.
Yeah,
Like
and that was helpful. But I still
too much.
was like, so that would be part of it. But I almost, I feel like I'm so far gone. Like I just am always like, what?
Okay, let's see here. If you were given a 1 minute ad slot during the Super Bowl that you couldn't sell, what would you fill that time with?
Oh my gosh. I think I would just tell corny jokes. I do have a really like my kids even know I love corny jokes, like puns. Yeah. They like buy corny joke books just to tell me corny jokes. And so I would love to just like think I was like a comedian, but it would all just be like really corny, like dad jokes, like puns. Like I think puns are funny.
Do you ever catch yourself saying pun intended?
Yeah. Or that's so punny. Like I always, ha.
What piece of advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We don't have enough time for that. I would just like 20-year-old self. I would have been like, you need to like relax, probably. And like everything that you think is important right now, you're wrong. I would probably be not that. Like I'd probably be a little like harsh, but I don't know. I feel like it would just be a lot of, on the flip side, I think it would just be a lot of, like you need to relax. Things are going to turn out just fine. And
enjoy
yourself,
the path,
your path, the road you're on. Enjoy it. Which I actually do think I've always I will give myself that. Like, I feel like I've always enjoyed life, but I just think when I think back to then, I feel like the things that I was worried or anxious about were so silly.
Yeah.
And didn't really serve me very well.
And then next question is 20 years from now. So I won't say how old you are, but the version of yourself 20 years older, what advice would you 60? Give yourself today?
Oh man. I guess I hope and anticipate, because I feel like I've just gotten more I think they tell you as if you're not getting more radical as you get older, radical in the sense of not like the way I used to say radical when I was a kid, like Ninja Turtle style.
Not like Bart Simpson.
Yeah, radical.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I just, I hope I'm just kind of like a little bit of a wild old lady.
Yeah.
So
Like a kind of a hippie adventurous.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think, cause I feel like as you get older, you just like, there's less and less stuff that you give a crap about. And you're like, I'm just going to do me. I'm not hurting anybody. So I hope that I hope that the 60-year-old me would be like, yeah, man, you were just living life.
Yeah. Let's see here. What are you truly thankful for this year?
Oh my gosh.
2021.
I am truly thankful that I have a healthy family. And we're able to like, I feel like we're focusing a lot on just wellness and having experiences and living life. And so my kids are really at a sweet age, I think right now. They're like 7 to 13. So we're able to like do all kinds of stuff. And because we're all healthy and well and have the ability, I feel like we're able to kind of like go on adventures and have experiences. And
healthy and well, it takes time. It's like a whole new meaning now.
It
right?
does. It does. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it too. I guess maybe this year I'm thankful that things have opened up a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we're able to kind of get out and see people and see the world.
The last thing I want to ask you here is because this is the last episode we're recording in 2021. So what would be the final message that you would like to leave your listeners with for the podcast here?
I mean, I guess the message would be that I hope for everybody, myself included, that this next year, I mean, everybody's been through a lot the last couple years. And I feel like that idea has kind of been beat to death, but we have, it's been hard in different ways for everybody. I think that in the next year, again, I think I hope that everybody can kind of focus on what makes them happy, what makes them feel well in the world, and doing more of that. Not taking the message of what somebody thinks you should do or, what the media is telling you is good for you, but to actually have that time to reflect on things and say like, you know what, these are the things that feel good to me. These are the things that make me happy. And life is short. You never know. I think we've all learned that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to find a way to add more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to Marie Kondo that shit, right?
Right. Right.
Not just your...
Does it bring you joy?
Not just your closet.
Right. No. I could never get behind that either.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah. I mean, like I feel after watching that, I felt really self-conscious about the number of shoes I have and
Same
clothes
here.
I don't wear. I got rid of a lot of stuff. So now I'll go like once or twice a year, like seasonally, I'll go up to Target, get myself a couple new shirts. Yeah. And some new socks. I'm big on new socks. Like new socks, nice pens and pads of paper are like that's like living right there for me.
Totally.
So,
a good pen.
A good pen. Oh.
Like winning
Chef's
all day.
kiss.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm with
and then
you.
a good pad of paper. I mean, there's a lot. Like I've been through a few different brands, so you got to find the right brand. It rips out easy, thick paper. I like making lists.
Me
In
too.
fact, a lot of times I'll write things down I've already done just so I can cross them off.
Me
my
too.
list.
Me
It's
too.
such a rewarding feeling.
I know. I like to feel accomplished.
I got that done.
I'm like, well, I should have made this list at 7 because it's already 9:30 and I've done these things and I'm going to give myself credit.
I don't want to short myself.
For sure. For sure. I love it.
Well, that's all the questions we have. But I think from your production team here, we're really excited for next year, mainly because I'm superstitious and I believe that even years are better than odd years. So 2022
is the year.
Is all about you. I don't know. I probably should have come up with like a better slogan than that, but we're really proud of you and excited and happy to be a part of the Feeding the Family team.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I'm having such a great time and I'm super excited for next year. I know it's going to be even better.
It is.
Love it.